What's up, everybody? It is Sunday morning. It's February, what is it, 8th? No, 6th. Who cares? So, yeah, first week of February went well, and I'm glad to be back on Cup of Joe. I think I skipped last week or maybe the week before, but yeah, hopefully my mic is good, ready to rock. Let me see about getting some background music, because I will be actually drawing most of today, because I have a commission that I need to ink, which I kind of put in my Twitter post about the stream. But yeah, hopefully you guys are picking up a mic. You guys picking up a mic? You hearing me? Hopefully. All right, so let's find one more in here for, there's my screen. I got everything in a different position right now because I'm going to be on this spot right here trying to do the inking. So kind of switched up the camera and going to be using the normal camera that I normally have on my face on the page. Still haven't set up some sort of consistent camera for like drawing streams. Hopefully in the future that will come around, but right now that's not the case. What I'm going to do here is try to get some music going. Hopefully that will actually work. Maybe not. Never really does. These days I feel like my my mixer is just not equipped. Maybe I need to update iTunes or some sort of, maybe switch to another, maybe play out of VLC or something. Anyway, who's here? Anybody here? Anybody awake yet? I don't see anybody in chat, so I'm assuming that's it's a no-go on the awake. I'm barely awake today. I'm real tired, but I got the coffee, got my X-Force mug, and yeah, about to do some making. So we'll jump over the other cam here and get this thing going. In the meantime, watch Star Circuit. Have you guys seen this book that I made? It's pretty legit. I think you're probably gonna like it if you haven't seen it before. It's a cyberpunk racing book. It's not all about racing, but it's inspired by F-Zero, which is a racing game from Nintendo, and it's also it's big. Majorly influenced by Akira, which is not really about racing, but has the same kind of sci-fi bikes that I like. So with that in mind, let's bring up, I'm going to bring up the Indiegogo real quick, just so you guys can see what we're talking about. We're really close to a major goal, and that goal is 20K. So on Indiegogo, you have essentially like a system where not every dollar that is added up here is, I guess, the true number, because it's got to, it factors in, I guess, the refunds and everything. So I don't know how close I really am, but as far as the numbers shown here, we're really close to 20K. And for the most part, that's a true statement. I'd say it's very close in actuality. But yeah, check out the book. It ships immediately if you back it. People, reviewers and fans have kind of given like a 5-star rating for the most part. I don't know if you want to do it by stars or by 10 out of 10s, but some people think it's really good. And so for that reason, you may want to check it out. It's worth your time. It's a 30+ page book with a lot of extras, and you actually can buy a lot of extras with it, including this 3D print right here for $60. That can go out immediately as well. We put him in print on demand with a friend of mine, and we together get these bikes out to you. Anyway, the campaign's going well, so back it if you haven't. Here's the, I suppose, but yeah, check it out.
Welcome to the future. A place where you can find anything you desire. If the burner gangs don't find you first. Where the fastest racers are artificial And if you're human, you don't stand a chance. Star Circuit.
Cool, guys. Cool. So let me get this camera in focus because it can get more focus than that. Believe me, I'm not that much of a trash streamer. I have some sort of an okay camera, not like the best or anything. I think the contrast is on point. However, let's get this focus right. Take it off auto. That's that's the key here. Let's somewhere around here, I think is good. Yeah, something like that I think is the best we're gonna get. Lighting's not too bad. Let's bring in the light a little bit closer maybe without getting the reflection. I don't know where the best spot is for that. Something like that. Looks good. And I don't know if we want to put on like some of these generic-ass songs that StreamYard gives us, but if I play that, I wonder if that'll sound good. Not sure. Anyway, we're gonna get going. So I'm usually a penciler. I just enjoy penciling better than inking. For anybody out there who's wondering, but yeah, this is a commission that is specifically asking for inks. So I was originally not gonna do the inking traditionally, but as you can see, this is a traditional page, and for me, I like doing inking and majority of all art like traditional because it feels better at the end of all the work you put in. It doesn't seem like a scam, like you scammed yourself. Because when you work digitally, that's the downside. I feel bad for the youngins that only have worked digitally because they don't know the magic of feeling the tactile nature of the paper and then having a result that's physical. It's a totally different feeling. Like there's an obvious thing here where I think everybody knows you obviously end up with an original, you end up with something physical if you do it traditionally, but there's another side of this, which is if you do end up going like traditional, there's a different feeling to how you work. Like you almost you feel like a craftsman more, like you feel like you're making a table out of wood and like, you know, measuring and getting things right. Like all the marks you make are permanent, especially if you're working in ink. Like everything feels more permanent and powerful. So like I said, I feel bad for some of the Gen Zers or something, like the people that only have worked on a tablet before. It's like the opposite. It's like that really sucks for kind of losing that feeling. So here, I've inked a lot of this page already. There's half the page that's not. So down here, I printed it out, blue line. It's really tight pencils for the most part. Like I do, if you look down here, I do like have squiggles, and so those will kind of be transformed into a little bit more like clean little hash marks. But for the most part, this thing is pretty tight as far as a page goes, for me anyway. So I'm pretty much sticking to what I have, sticking to my tried and true kind of lines that I've already figured out digitally, and I use the really pencil-like brush. So whenever I draw digitally, I end up doing just simply just doing like a mimic of a pencil. And so when I do go back to inks, it just feels like I am transforming something. Now I'm using I think it's like a ballpoint, but it's a Tech Pen. It's a Tech Pen 0.5. It could go smaller, but these are really, really good for how ballpointy they are. And I don't usually go this route. I have a Copic right here, but the Copic's a little bigger, and I can get the fine hair marks that I want by essentially going with this ballpoint for stuff like this. I have something in the background. It might be just like too low for anybody to hear if I turn it up. It's the it's the basic thing they have on Spotify, or not Spotify, Jesus, StreamYard now, where they give some background options for music now, which is not the worst stuff, but at least it's some sort of noise since no one else is on stream with me here. That way I don't feel like I have to talk all the time. I do that sometimes where I just fill the void, which is not great for I guess in general, you know, a streamer's kind of persona that you always have to be talking. I prefer just chilling out. I think most people know that. Okay. So this commission is a collection of characters, and it's 6 characters, so it's almost like a cover. It feels like more of a cover than a pinup. I don't usually see this many characters on a pinup. So I'm assuming it's for like a team IP. I know the things I know that is it's a tight knit kind of cop like group. They're like enforcers or, you know, police of a sci-fi nature. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, who's up in here in this chat room? I see some comments. I see Area Blackness here. Yo, thanks, dude. I'm working on it. Working hard. Thanks for joining. Zayd pops in here. What up, Ugly? Look, dude. I'm assuming you're talking to the lizard lady on the page, not me. So we'll leave it at that. Did I mention Spotify before? Because I have Joe Rogan on the brain because everybody's trying to cancel this dude. I don't think he's that cancelable, but at the same time, he's on Spotify, which is an issue because he is somewhat vulnerable on that end of things. So I think whatever is happening right now, it's all because he made that move, and it's a bummer that even the great Rogan has been put in this category. Pretty great. Didn't think it would ever happen. Anyway, like I said, I'm using this tech pen. I might go down to a 3 because I do like using the Copic because Copic feels better, I think, laying them down, but this just has a finer line. I'm able to probably get some more hair-like ends on these lines. And I did do a warm-up today, so this is probably why I'm a little bit slow, because no warm-up. I'm very, what's the word? Rusty, I guess. Dry, rusty, cold. So we'll work on this dude here. I have time lapses of the majority of this piece being done because I'm planning to make it a YouTube video, or at least, you know, share some of it. But if everything comes together nicely, I'll be able to just throw the time lapse up on the YouTube, proving that I can ink. I don't care what people say. They say pencilers can't ink. But, you know, I wonder if there's ever been really a huge battle in history of comics, like between a penciler and an inker. I don't know if anybody knows any controversies of like a penciler inker team that were really at each other's teeth all the time, but made it work out in the end. Let me know, because that's kind of funny. I wish I knew any of those situations because it's just funny to think about. So Zayd says, "Oh, these are inks," like an asshole. No, these are. This is gouache, bro. I'm inking with gouache. This is not Indie Ink. So this is one of my favorite characters of his in this little scheme. I did a lot of the characters really well, and that's why I like this piece. I think it's got personality if you go look at a lot of the faces. But the guy over here shooting over here, he's just got like a cool pose, very stable, very just like got your back kind of pose, and blasting away here at some of these guys, whatever they're shooting at, because I don't know really the enemies, but I'm assuming they're galactic thugs or something. Who knows? I really don't know. This is all just speculation. So I'm gonna take off my hat because I usually lean in really far when I have to ink, especially this close. So Chris Fisk is here. What up, Chris Fisk? I saw you up on Vinny's stream the other day. I didn't know you hopped on panels. I think we need to do a panel show, a Zaid. Jerem, we need to panel it up with some good folks. Like, Art Bros is cool because it's just you and me. This is pretty cool because it's, I get to do solo stuff sometimes, but I think we need to get a panel show, like just a quick one, like what we normally do, like an hour, and do it like once a month. Get our favorite people all in one place. See if we can talk about stuff. I started doing one for animation for games. Jerem, I never talked to you about it, so I'll talk to you about it on stream here. But there's a lot of people that are into animation for all types of things, and I think if we gathered them all together, we'd have some cool conversations. So those people I'm talking about would be probably like Pedro and Garcia and Ryan Cardinal and some others that do like to do the animation stuff. And obviously Zaid, you're a part of that, but you're already on my radar. So maybe that'll be a cool show eventually. You flipping loser. Yeah. Whatever. Okay. So the thing about jumping from pencils to ink is a difference in mentality for the most part. And I looked up, every time I ink, I always go look up technique from different people. Our boy Ryan Wynn, which I have to bring this up as I talk about Ryan Wynn, because I do have some things in the mail today, which I got. Finally got number 1 of Gods and Gears, which is over here, Ryan Wynn, you see his name over there. So this is he wrote this book. He didn't draw this one. He did colors on this. And so this is his color and his writing expertise. I also got number 2, but this is from Alterna, and so I'm excited to read it, see how his writing chops are. And yeah, we can look in the book real quick just to see what you guys think about the art, because he didn't do the art, but it seems pretty, like, this is like, to me, the kind of stuff I look for in Alterna. Alterna's got like a lot of cool indie stuff, like, like cartoonier stuff, but this is like a good in between. It's like got the superhero kind of, I guess, proportions and just more realistic proportions and shadows, but at the same time got that indie look to it. So anyway, back to inking. But speaking of Ryan Wynn, that's why I brought it up. Ryan's got his inking channel, or his channel that a lot of times talking about inking, and sometimes I go on there. But I feel like inking is going to be like something I do when I'm like 70 or something. Like, I don't have the drive to it now. Hopefully I get the drive before I'm 70, but if I ever do, I'll get really, really obsessed with it. Because it just seems like that technical prowess of being good with a brush, as far as inking goes, looks like something I'd really be into. It's just, I prefer telling the story and not focusing on mastering the brush, because it takes time, and I'd rather be telling stories and coming up with compositions and all that, instead of trying to get a brushstroke in the most optimal and beautiful flow, you know. So that's it. Dude, all my streams are chill as fuck, dude. Area Black. It is, that's literally what I do. Even when I try to be a little bit more out there and I guess dramatic about things, I don't match other people's levels of drama. It's just not my personality. Not that I can't do it. It's just doesn't come natural. So almost all my streams are pretty chill, unless I got a bone to pick, which I usually don't. But yeah, having fun here, having fun doing inks, kind of warming up my hand as I go and getting the flow, because I think that's where my speed struggles come from. Is I don't get in a good flow sometimes. I get in this like perfectionist in a not in a good way, where like you get the basics down and then you refine. I get it where if you're a perfectionist from the start of your first stroke, it doesn't help, because then you're too rigid and you end up being dumb about your line choices. And Jeremy says, I'd do it if I knew about the animations. Well, I know. I just couldn't get everybody together just yet, Jeremy. So I know you'd do it. I just trying to work out the timing of everything. So, but yeah, I figured you would be down for something like that. There's nothing funnier than Joe being serious? Probably. I can see that. I don't know what's so funny about it, because I'm obviously the knife doesn't know how sharp it is kind of approach there. You never really know. You're never fully aware of what you are. Only other people can see. But I get your point. I feel like I'm serious quite a bit. I'm sure there's a certain version of me and my seriousness that is extra funny. Yo, we got some people up in here. Chris Fisk over here. He says, come on, he's physically assaulted you in a few weeks back. His black belt master is as serious as a heart attack. Yeah. Look, we know his his head wound was straight black belt magic, but he survived. I wouldn't mortally injure a man like that. Sherry's here. Everybody say hello to Sherry. And also, Padrino's here. Joey Chestnuts. I like that. I dig it. I know that's from a movie. Isn't that from a movie? There's always a Joey and then a nickname, and I can't remember what that's from. Oh man. Yeah. Jeremy's being foolish. But I do, in all seriousness, want to have that animation stream at some point, get people to talk about that. We'll see how that goes. All right. Let's see how good I am with straights without a ruler, bro. I've been practicing. It's probably one of the only things I have practiced, like, diligently, with, overall, I don't know, consistency, I guess, is the way to put it. Now, over here, though, I don't know how this thing is angled. I think this thing should be rounded a little bit. This gun. straight edge some of these shapes here. So I have 2 videos I talked about before in the works, and they're taking a while because I just don't know how to approach them, how I want to show what we're talking about. But the basics are that I'm taking famous artists' signatures and artwork and combining them and seeing how their signature relates to their art and how their personality kind of shows through in their work. And that all comes into play with a lot of things, but I'm taking a lot of our favorite artists out there from old and new and kind of breaking down their strokes and what the line quality as an artist really presents. So pretty much, how do you know a Todd McFarlane line from a Jim Lee line? You know, and there's really easy, when you break down the line work, it's pretty easy to find, and we all know it's there. It's just I'm making a video to explicitly tell you and doing the work for you. So instead of you having to break all this stuff down, I'm doing it for you. So hopefully that I can finish up. That way we have a new video on the stream, get some watch hours up in here. Thanks for hanging with me on a Sunday. And I'm gonna go back to the 0.5. Or even, I also have these micron PNs, which are, I don't know, they're not felt. It's like a rubber nib or something. I don't know what it is. It's good for, I mean, it's good for inking, for sure. We know that. But I think I need a finer tip, or like I need to like not ruin the nib as much as I have already. So I just realized I need an outline in here, otherwise you're not going to be able to see this dude and where his arm is separated from the background. So I have to kind of give some bounce light there instead of going all the way to black. And I forgot to get rid of Joey Chestnut too. Eyes on the timeline is good. Is that what that means? I'm good on time? I don't know what that means. I'm trying to like do some categories with your emojis. So Joe always has been a fan of rubber nibs. Some would say. I prefer I really do like the ballpoint over felt in some ways. You just get like, you almost can pull it up on the paper a little bit and then drag it if it's ballpoint. It's pretty interesting. And a lot of people don't use it that way. A lot of people use the ballpoint to get light scratchy marks and then kind of build up, but I prefer the pooling effect that can happen. But this micron PN is, I don't really like how, at least I haven't gotten used to how the nib is. It's good for certain things, but right now I'm going to keep with this like odd ballpoint tech pen I have. Oh, you said nips, rubber nips. Oh, okay. I literally didn't read it fully. I'm sorry, dude. I butchered your comment. Didn't know you were talking about hard nips. Should have guessed, you know. Really should have. My bad. giving that guy some sideburns. You guys really don't get a great look at the fine details here because it does. There's like a fine stroke that on that sideburn that you really can't pick up from the camera. Maybe that's from the contrast. I'm not sure what that's from. But yeah. All right. So I do like how the scales came out on the lizard lady. Hairline should come down a little more than that. So let's do this. Censorship gate. Yeah, dude, the whole Rogan thing. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but it's bizarre. I like what Shapiro said about it. It's almost like just like the mainstream lefties can't get the same kind of viewership he's got, so they're like using whatever little means they can with the censorship thing to get at him. It's kind of sucks because they kind of do have him in like a corner a little bit, like they have everybody. But I don't know how you cancel the dude. I always thought he was not really cancelable. It's kind of crazy to think such a tender, tartan heart could have such anger hidden under the shingled skin. Oh, thanks, dude. Boss work. Appreciate it. Appreciate for hanging with me. So for me, inking is just another chance to correct some of the mistakes made in pencils, and also the contrast obviously pops on stuff like this on your inks. So you're able to see what kind of things you need to do to make it work specifically for inking over penciling. So there's that. I try my best to adjust to the medium because it is not my usual. So I mean, like, we're about halfway. Maybe it's a good time to bring up the other book I got. We'll bring it up on because I have the cam here, and I tagged him in the Twitter. I tagged him in the Twitter post, but I got Dixie Rose in, and that's by our good friend Matt Fowler, and I really think he's got such a good eye for like good stories, and I haven't read much of it yet, but he's definitely got, I don't know, just concept wise, the dude is all over the place. Obviously he's got Tiger Blue pushing out there right now. The only thing I can say about this book is the cover is a little bit wider than I thought. I can bend it quite a bit, and it's just got an odd kind of, I guess, feel. But besides that, the book is really great looking. There's ARO and Dixie Rose, and that concept by, I can't remember. Is that I can't remember who did that one. It's a Kanan White, I think. Yeah, it's a Kanan. That's a Kanan concept. Kanan's got some good lines on this one. Wow. Real cool. So, anyway, Dixie Rose. I'll let you know what I think about it, but overall the book looks good. It's got a kind of Ivan, like this guy, I haven't seen a lot of his work. Ricardo Jamie is, I don't know, he's got like that Kanan White kind of Ivan Reese feel. I don't know if you've seen his work, but yeah, it's like this realistic lighting, realistic proportions, and it's this kind of blocky shadow. Always put balance light on everything, so it's super realistic. There's not a lot of stylization going on, but I dig it. I really dig Ivan Reis as well, because that dude's a champion, and he did a lot of the Green Lantern stuff that I really like. So that came in the mail. I don't know what else I got. I already talked about the Embrace. I already talked about obviously Gods and Gears. What was the other thing I talked about last week that, you know, I should have maybe brought it? Can't remember. Yeah, super stoked about Tiger Blue. I think that's one of my favorite, I guess, Garcia styles, because it's like his style but with a little bit more realistic or exaggerated to more realistic proportions. Less of these Cal Arts, or I think, is that the school that goes a little noodly. But yeah, either way, I dig obviously Matt Fowler and his stories, but Garcia, the combo there, and our boy Zaid has got a game coming with it. I didn't want the, even though I was signed up, I didn't want the Tiger Blue Sega child of the 80s or whatever, 90s, bundle, but what I did get was the Game Boy one, because I was definitely more of a Game Boy kid. I mean, everybody I know didn't have a Game Gear. I barely knew anybody had a Game Gear. But I think he's given a Sega Genesis cartridge, right? 16-bit. Anyway, probably should have gotten both because they're that cool. Anyway, Zaid's heading a lot of that prototype, right? So, stoked for that. But yeah, there's tons of books and stuff out for February. I've already missed a couple that I want to go back and check out. Ballad of the Celestials I want to check out. Saw somebody post about that, probably B-Rose. Um, Who else? Obviously, Terror in the Trenches with Vaughn. That book coming. It does look incredible. Like, almost not. I don't want to say better than Monster MD. It's just I feel like Monster MD is a certain genre, you know, and this is a little bit more in my wheelhouse, I feel like, and maybe a lot of people's wheelhouses. Sorry about hitting the mic there. So, but this is a longer straight. I could show off my prowess, but these longer straights, I sometimes just go with the ruler, bros. Many a time I've talked about the controversy is of not using a ruler or using a ruler or what, because it's straight up like some people that I've been taught by always have brought up that using a ruler was a good thing, and it's lazy if you don't use one. However, there's the other side, which is if you don't like using a ruler, sometimes it comes out more organic, and in general of the whole, everything feels like it's more like alive, I think. However, I like a little bit of both. I like the contrast of your organic lines and then this really perfectly straight line that I don't know, just can't be replicated. You know what I mean? Oh, Billy Basco, it's been so long. Good to see your words in my chat. It really has been. It has been a while for sure. We're inking, dude. I never ink, so I feel like the inks right now are flowing pretty well. This gun design's like pretty decent. This one I pulled this on this one over here. You can see in the blue line. I don't know if you can see it. There's like a scope on it, but for this one, he's kind of using it as like an assault rifle. So I'm pulling the scope off of it for this one. And the guy who commissioned me didn't mention anything about it, so I'm just going with it. So. Yo, it's good to have the homies back in the chat. I appreciate it, dude. Thanks for stopping by, man. I really do. Yesterday I was building two different types of stools. We bought 2 stools for the bar, and we're like, let's just try them out instead of like going just full hog and buying a set. Yeah, the inking conversations have been making the rounds. For me, that was a sloppy line, bro. For me, I like pencils better. I just like the natural gradients that you get out of them, and since we're able to color straight from that now these days, if your pencils are tight enough, I prefer that. However, I get it. Inking has got this quality to it. The contrast is maximum. So like, I get why people really dig it. And I dig it too. It's not that I don't. It's just when I do my own art, I a lot of times prefer not to. So. Great work on Tiger Blue game. Yeah, dude. I agree. Dude, Tiger Blue, man. I was just talking about how that's my most anticipated of things to come out eventually. I don't know. Has he said the timeline on when it comes out, Zaid or Billy? I must have missed it. I just made a mistake going through the gun there. Oops. come back around and probably white it out later. It's very faint, so not a biggie. I feel super lucky to have all the pages on my desktop. Oh snap, dude. Oh Billy. You should. I was just bringing up Dixie Rose, and I held off from reading that digital version so I could read the physical when I just got it this week. So, going to read Dixie Rose here soon. Yeah, even a prototype is pretty sweet though, dude. Like, it's something you don't ever get. Like when people talk about stretch goals and stuff that are like, you know, not another sticker or like things that are more throwaway. The game, a prototype game is, I don't care how like unpolished or prototypey it is, it's still like something you're never gonna get. Like, I'd say it's a 1% chance that your campaign of your book that you like has a game attached to it. It's yeah. Even a prototype is awesome. Again, I gotta take off the hat so I can stick my head in here and get the line I want. To me, that's the brilliance of inking. It's like the super contrast and the ability to get the finest line in certain spots. I'm sure you guys got plans. You got plans. The cops have plans. Gordon's got plans. And Jeremy's got plans. almost at an hour. Getting there. Anybody else in chat have anything to bring up, like a cool project they've seen, maybe something they personally are doing that you're attached to that you want me to shout out? I know the people I want to shout out, and that is, well, obviously Tiger Blue we talked about. Joe Sontag has got his second printing of the Ashcan for Reaper, and so go check it. Go check that out. He posts all about it all the time. The other Zaid has a show off 2 prototype midway cabinets that had less than 5 boards made. Really? The other Zaid. The Diaz Zaids. Interesting. And also the prototype is where the lighting in the bottle is. Yes. Lightning in a bottle. Also lighting in a bottle as well, I guess. In some way. Okay. All right. Trying to keep this separation from the main character to everything else. I don't always do that, but sometimes you got to. Like here I can go all the way, I think, to the border, and it won't matter. Well, yeah, I think the prototype is cool because you can easily feel if it's working or not. And that's the whole point. It's like, is there a potential there or is it not a potential? So, get your point. I don't know if you guys seen the game Death's Door. It's like got like a crow as a protagonist. It's got a crow as a protagonist, and it's like a isometric kind of action game. Anyway, it's pretty sweet, but I didn't know it's the guys that made I think Titan Souls. You know, that one where you're like a kid with one arrow and you gotta beat giant like bosses. I think it's the same guys. And I won't give a spoiler, but I beat the true ending of the Death's Door Crow game. And the true ending is, if you're a fan of Titan Souls, you might want to check it out. Trying to figure out what I want to do over here with this section. You saw that that connection? Yeah, the game's pretty good. I'd say I'd give Death's Door like a 7.5 or an 8. It's pretty good. It obviously got me to play enough of it to get the true ending. So the game loop's pretty good. Combat's hard, but not very deep. Like at some point it's just not replayable. It gets boring. Trying to figure out why. But once you're out of getting new weapons and stuff, you're kind of a little bit bored by it. The game starts getting too easy, at least for me, and I kind of zone out a little bit. However, I have been just playing a whole lot of Souls type games, and you kind of get, after you go try to beat Orphan of Cause on Bloodborne, the DLC, and then go fight anything in any other game, and it probably feels like refreshing. I don't care what game you play, you're just gonna be like, oh, this is cake, dude. So it's my take on Death's Door. I never really beat Titan Souls though, so I don't really know how good that game got, but it's obviously good enough where they made money, and I know it made money. I know that part of it at least, but I didn't know how much money, and I didn't know the developer was gonna be able to continue on making their goods, you know? Which is the goal, I think. If you're a developer, the goal is not make tons of money, same as like a comic artist, not make tons of money necessarily. Your goal should be make enough to where you can make another one. And keep the dream alive, if you know what I mean. Like, unless you have an ankle. I'm sure maybe there are artists that are like, once I finish this is like with Malin and Godlike, he's like, hopefully this is his opus, magnum opus, and he's gonna freaking, you know, hopefully not have to create any new IPs after that. But besides something like that, I'd say you might not have an end game like that. And for most of us, it would be to make an IP that is popular enough to continue making IPs and continue just doing what we love. So hope you guys enjoying the inking here. There's actually one piece that I forgot to include. We're gonna have to put these in here. Down at the bottom here, you can see the rifle has some like energy kind of slots, if you will. So what we'll have to do here is do our own blue line here. If it's got blue in it, let's see. It does. Use a blue pencil here. Get these things in. So it's like this line that goes on the very bottom of the third here, and it goes straight out from there. So one here. Yep, that broke on me. Thank you. Blue lead is notoriously lightweight. So I put in that, and then there's hash marks that go to this corner. So I put those in real quick. First, let's have those lines go up to nearly the top, somewhere over here, and then down here. I think that's close enough. Might be too big. Let's cut it off here then. We'll erase away some, and then we'll ink it. Yeah, Titan Souls was cool. I didn't play all of it, like I said. Yo, B-Rose is here. What up, B-Rose? Hail, hail. Good to see you, dude. Black Rose has got a book called, is it Cerebellum? No. Cerebrum, right? So go check that out. Go sign up. Zaid is here saying, if you want to make it for a long time in game dev, make sure to match for game. Make a match for game release and sell ad space. Get a second mortgage, create some seasonal holiday patches. That's the long game approach. Okay, let's I'm gonna end this thing with doing this little section here. Gotta do some ruler stuff, and then we'll close out. All right. Don't fuck this up, Joe. I already did, kind of, but we'll just have to continue on. Not the worst, for sure, but definitely screwed up some. We'll use some whiteout to help me out on the end. They look like tubes because the ends on them. Bummer, but what can you do? I'll use whiteout at the end. But now let's put our line in this way. One more line to do. Yeah, so yeah, making enough to like do the next project is nice. That feeling, like that's the whole dream. I feel like there is pleasure in finishing a project and making that work out, but making the project, if you're not enjoying that, then probably not in the right game. You haven't found your what we call the I think they call it the infinite game, like the game that can be played infinitely, and that's the game you want to play. The game of life is kind of like that to a point, because we all die, obviously. So it's not perfectly infinite, but it's a game that keeps on challenging you, and finding your infinite game is the key here to a lot of this. And so the journey and the grind is one of those infinite type of games that you need to figure out for yourself. You know, so overall the gun looks good. So some whiteout moments, but besides that, it's looking good. Let's put this topper on it. I didn't do the guy's face. I should have did that on stream for you. It would have been more entertaining, I think. People do like seeing that drawn in front of their eyes. But yeah, this has been a Sunday draw stream, man. I like jumping on stream and doing this, but this is literally what I'll be doing anyway. Except I do want to record this. So I will jump off so I can just put it on a time lapse. That way I have a video out of this later on, and that'll be sweet to have. And yeah, that's what the plans are for today. I don't know what you guys got going on. Go back some books. Go sign up for some campaigns like BECKONED RECOURSE. That's Zaid Studios, who's in chat. Go check that out. That's in the description. It's always in the description. Go back Star Circuit. We are crazy close to 20K with Star Circuit, my cyberpunk racing book. So please go do that. If you have some money and you really like checking out indie stories that are actually, for the most part, they're going to be more fresh than anything the mainstream's putting out. I got Dixie Rose in the mail, so you missed out on this, but if you want something from the same creator, go get Tiger Blue. That's funding right now. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'm probably going to continue inking this, like I said, on time lapse and hopefully finish. I'm sure I can. There's a lot of cool things. There's this hot babe down here, and this guy's got superpowers. I think everybody else doesn't. This dude's got superpowers, and so that's why he's kind of got like his little hand out, ready to do some magic or something. Anyway, the thing is half done. It's gonna be cool, and so that's what I'm doing. You guys have fun. Do what you want to do. Live the dream. If you want to work, work. If you don't want to work, don't work. I don't care what you do. Have fun. Create some stuff. Hopefully, I think that balance of creating and consuming is one that you probably should be aware of. So that's something I try to do anyway. Thanks for joining me, Zaid. Billy Basco, thanks for showing up. B-Rose, if you're here, thanks for watching, man. I really do want to jump on your panel again sometime. It's been a long time. I really think about time to go say hello to you guys, because you guys are awesome. I usually have fun when you have panels and I'm able to watch them. So it'd be cool to jump on again. I know Padrino was here, and also Chris Fisk and Aria Blackness was here. So thanks for showing, everybody. And have a great day. We're out of here a little later than usual, but yeah, all works out in the end. All right, peace out, guys.